What's up guys, Mikkel here, and today I wanted to do a quick video on Hedera Hashgraph HBAR. I've covered this topic a few times in the past, but I've really done more of a broad overview of the project at scale. Here I want to break into exactly what makes Hedera special, why they will succeed in the future, and really how they're going to fit into a future financial system and overall society, because Hedera Hashgraph really moves into processing information at large, and it's a really cool project that I think you guys need to know about. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like it down below. Keep subscribing to the channel. It helps so much and really means a lot. The more you guys subscribe, the more I'll be able to focus on this in the future. But anyway, guys, let's jump right into this video. And the main topic I really want to cover is how Hedera differentiates itself from other blockchains out there, and really how it's going to carve out its niche in the future society. One of the biggest problems right now, I realize, is there's so many different blockchains out there. People have a hard time of seeing the specific use case of each one, and that's really what I want to break down in this video. So make sure you stick around until the end so I can really give you a good overview of where Hedera will fit in all of this. First, I want to show you a quick clip of this video they have posted on their website, just to catch everyone up to speed on what Hedera is.
We are in the dawn of a new decentralized era, where people who don't know or trust each other can securely collaborate and transact online without the need for an intermediary. For distributed ledgers to go mainstream and enable this vision, there are 4 issues that must be addressed: speed, security, stability, and governance. Hedera Hashgraph is the enterprise-grade public network that addresses these challenges. The underlying Hashgraph consensus algorithm offers speed and scalability, fair ordering, and best-in-class security for mission-critical applications. Hedera is a platform built on and built for trust.
You need a governing concept. And because blockchain systems are about trust, well, somebody has to set the standard for trust.
Hedera aims to achieve a truly decentralized governance model. The Hedera Governing Council is an elected group of highly diversified, leading global organizations, committed to supporting the development and growth of the Hedera public network. Comprised of the world's most innovative companies across different industries and geographies, the Hedera Governing Council will chart the path for the Hedera platform and public network.
So that's really the main part that I wanted you to see, and we'll stop it right on this Google slide because they're one of the biggest players. And so to jump right into it, what Hedera is really looking to do is create a trustless, it's essentially a trustless, it's called a hypergraph, but it's essentially very similar to blockchain, different technology, but it's essentially a distributed ledger that a bunch of different parties can plug into, and it all have equal access, equal standing, and equal trust in an underlying system. One of the biggest problems we have today is with companies and enterprises is centralization. So the problem with centralization is that, first of all, it's very easy to hack. When a hacker wants to hack a centralized database, they only need to break into that one database. If they want to hack something like the Bitcoin network or a distributed computer system, what they have to do is they have to hack a large majority of individual nodes. The biggest part about decentralization is essentially spreading out these networks into a bunch of different pieces. The main purpose of this is that, so rather than having to hack a single centralized place, they have to hack a whole bunch of different parts in order to compromise the entire system. Imagine if you were a bank robber and you wanted to rob, say, all the money in the United States. Well, it would make a lot more sense to have all the money spread out across the entire United States and a bunch of different places than having all the money in one bank. If you have all the money in one bank, it's very easy for hackers to get into. But if you have all the money spread out in a bunch of different places, then it makes it much harder to compromise the entire system. And while certain points might go offline, it's still very hard to affect the entire thing. Another great part about distributing the network and having a bunch of parties all on it is it ensures everyone's being a good actor on the system. When you have one person that controls everything, like companies currently are set up in a lot of ways, it really creates dictatorships where certain companies can make all the rules and enforce rules the way in which they want them. Because public companies really have say over how their companies run, they can really make arbitrary decisions that makes it hard to do business on an equal level playing field. Something like Hedera as a distributed system allows all companies on the system to visualize the rules of the system in code. This way you don't have to trust anyone else on the system because you're trusting the underlying technology. As long as everyone has and there's distributed control over the underlying technology, then it's a safe and level playing field for everyone to access. Distributed forms like this are super beneficial and really makes it so companies like Google and Boeing, like you saw on this slide, it makes it actually easier for them to give up some of their control and put it on the system like this for the reasons we just talked about. That's why a lot of these enterprises are pursuing something like Hedera Hashgraph. Now, honestly, Hedera does have better technology than something like Ethereum and a lot of other blockchains out there, but the thing about Hedera is it's really it's not centralized in the form that it can be hacked. It's centralized in the form that it's really governed by big business and big corporations. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just different than something like Ethereum. Ethereum is really more retail driven and really was originally made to for the smaller guy and the retail person. Hedera is really formed by corporation and is going to be something that is not necessarily more trustworthy, but something that they are probably, the governing councils are going to be more likely to utilize in the future. For them, Hedera is something that they personally had the ability to kind of bring it along into its future development, while Ethereum was kind of built and then they were forced to kind of join the network afterwards. They'll still likely use Ethereum in the future. It's just important to point out that this project was specifically made for enterprises, and that's really what gives a lot of its value. So what is it going to be used for? And I'll get through this part much quicker. And this is just a great example. So I saw the other day that Hedera Hashgraph powers Proven DB, which I didn't know, but Proven DB powers DocuSign. And this is just a perfect example of how businesses will be able to leverage something like Hedera Hashgraph. So smart legal contracts, everyone. DocuSign is really a perfect example because currently with something like DocuSign, it's essentially just e-signing contracts, but there's no actual reaction to the contract itself. Imagine if you were able to have a contract system on Hedera Hashgraph where smart contracts could essentially power these signed documents on the platform, so that way companies could literally in real time sign documents and have the implications of those documents directly put into effect across entire networks and ecosystems. Think after you sign the contract, say you bought a house, all the different little minute things that have to go into play afterwards. Well, essentially a smart contract is code that once you sign that smart contract, everything in the smart contract can instantly go into effect because it's essentially built into a computer system. This is something that's going to be massive in the future and will make signing transactions and deals way more fluid and way more efficient. This is the perfect example of something that can be automated by Hedera Hashgraph. The benefit is no one wants a single party to be able to control what the rules are of the smart contract. It's perfect for it being distributed across a bunch of parties and not a single party having all the control, and it's great for everyone to be able to trust the processes going through. This is just one example and one of the easier ones to understand where it's a system that can be very easily incorporated into Hedera Hashgraph. Stuff like this is only going to be popping up more, and we really can't even imagine some of the things this will be used in the future. It's just important to realize how big this is and how easy this can incorporate into many different things we don't even understand yet. This is going to be prevalent in a bunch of different blockchains, but it's just important to realize that Hedera is really looking to do it for enterprises, and enterprises have all the money. So it's good to follow them, and this is just a great example of it. Another very bullish thing for Hedera is that They recently integrated with USDC, which I believe is going to be the biggest stablecoin in the entire world in the next 5 to 10 years. USDC is going to essentially probably be comparable. It could be the digital dollar for the United States. They already have $2.7 billion of USDC minted on their platform, and it's just important to see these integrations. USDC is going to be behemoth in the space, and the more intertwined these networks get, the better and better they are. You don't want networks that are siloed. You want ones that keep branching out and kind of get their web entangled in everything. The more and more they're able to suck into their ecosystem, the better and better the network's going to get. Because say I'm a company that doesn't use Hedera, and say there's 5 other companies over here that are all utilizing it. I'm not going to say, oh, you guys can come use my outdated platform. No, I'm going to get sucked into the Hedera platform. So the more and more reasons you have to get people in the ecosystem, the more and more likely that ecosystem will succeed. It's the power of networks effects and Jevons paradox. I want to point out this too. This has been going around for a while, but the Bank of England has been working on CBDC, and if you look at some of the partners working on that CBDC, you just see a ton of people currently on the Hedera ecosystem, such as Google, MasterCard, and I think I saw IBM. It's really pretty interesting to see how all these different blockchains all kind of, and Hashgraph, I just want to point that out because people will comment saying Hedera is not a blockchain, but they're really all working together to solve common issues, and you really see the same names keep on appearing over and over again. Hedera is one of them, and it shows that while it's hard to see right now because ecosystems like Hedera are very infrastructural oriented. A lot of these companies don't want to make massive press releases and announce they're using something like Hedera. It's really going to be an infrastructure for these businesses to build on in the future, and it's interesting to see Hedera keep popping up in all these different places while companies kind of seem hush about whether they're using it. They don't need to announce it because all the people in the know already know about it. Instead, they're quietly building away, and then once they're all set up to release it, it will be bigger announcements. And I just want to point that out because the same people working with Ripple, the same people working with Quant, the same people working with Hedera pop up over and over and over again, and it's really enterprise-oriented blockchains that will handle really the future of the financial system and data storage. The last thing I wanted to get into was HBAR was actually on BBC News. The founder of it was, and I just want to point this out, not that it's anything that we don't know, but it really just shows how mainstream these blockchains are becoming, and I just think it's really good to see because the more people out there that understands this, the better it will be for the ecosystem. And I want to leave it on this meme because for those of you who don't know, I'm not really a fan of Cardano. I think they took too long to roll everything out. Their biggest announcement was they were working with Dish Satellite. It's like, these guys, like, I just look at the meme. There's nothing else to say from there. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it down below. Keep subscribing to the channel. It means so much. It really helps me out. And make sure you check out my video tonight, which will be a technical analysis on XRP. But for now, thanks for coming. Mikkel out.